All right, guys, let's talk Carolina Panthers. This is a team that's had one heck of an offseason. At this point, they checked every box, and the Panthers aren't done. There's reports out of another really smart, kind of maybe under the radar move the Panthers pulled off. I think will be huge for them going to 2023.
Yeah, Nick, the Panthers seem to have upgraded in feasibly every way possible this offseason. They've made a lot of very strong moves, in my opinion, mainly trading up to that number one pick. That's a big one. We're excited to see how that pans out. But, they're looking for a quarterback in the draft. When we're talking about quarterbacks, I want to pivot here for a second and ask the Panthers fans, who is your favorite backup quarterback who's been a Carolina Panther of all time? There's a couple of options. The Panthers now been around for a while, so let us know in the comments below who's your favorite backup quarterback on the Panthers of all time. And Nick, I'd like everyone to stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear from the partner of today's video, Neuro. But nonetheless, Nick, what is the latest in the bevy of moves the Panthers have made?
Yeah, so the Panthers are alluded to the trade up to the number one overall spot, but they've also been active in the free agent market as well, adding in some key pieces to fill out some holes on the roster. They are not done. This was first reported according to the Finsider, which is the Dolphins blog site. Miles, if you want to go ahead and pull it up. Eric Rowe will join the Carolina Panthers after playing 63 games in 4 years with the Miami Dolphins. The Panthers announced on Thursday that Rowe, 30, was joining the franchise. The contract's details aren't yet available. Carolina completely rebuilt its safety group by signing former Cincinnati Bengals safety Von Bell on March 13th. All right, Miles, I think this is actually a really smart move by the Carolina Panthers. It's kind of gone under the radar. And I look at it in conjunction, like this report here says, with the Von Bell signing. Because if you look at their new defensive coordinator, Evero, he spent time with the Denver Broncos. He's a Vic Fangio guy. One of the things with the really smart defensive minds, and Vic Fangio's tree falls under that branch. You have Dan Quinn in Dallas, obviously the Belichick tree in New England. All of these guys seem to have one thing in common. They love to load up on veteran, smart, savvy defensive backs. They love it for their versatility. They love it because it gives them a lot of options. They get to have a guy who can maybe play the run, who can cover tight ends, play some zone, maybe blitz, things like that. A lot of versatility, a lot of options. It's really good at confusing opposing quarterbacks. It's really good at creating negative plays. That's what Fangio had a lot of success with Denver. That's what Dallas does with Dan Quinn. And that's, of course, what the Patriots have done with Bill Belichick for the past 2 decades with resounding success. So I really like this move here by the Carolina Panthers to give Evero, their new defensive coordinator, everything he needs to execute that same defense and just make opposing quarterbacks' jobs a nightmare when they play this Panthers defense. Miles, give me your thoughts on the signing and everything with the Panthers so far.
Yeah, Nick, it looks really great because everyone knows in today's NFL, the keys on defense are pass rush and secondary. You can cover, your pass rush gets home, etc. It makes the world go round. It's like that flywheel. The better you cover, the more sacks you're going to get. So I think it's really good. Panthers are already very good at the pass rush department. Brian Burns, phenomenal player. Derek Brown in the middle, also a very good player. But when you look at this secondary now, a year ago, I'd say, well, Nick, the Panthers have a player or so in the secondary. Now they're pretty loaded up, as you alluded to. You got J.C. Horn, the young guy. He's doing really, really well, minus the injury. He looked very, very good. Got the older veteran guy, Dante Jackson. But then you get Von Bell and Eric Rowe back there. That's a pretty lethal secondary as far as, having a lot of good players who can affect the ball. I really like all of these signings by the Panther to couple with their linebackers who are just phenomenal as far as Luva and Thompson go. But this Panthers team looks really, really good on defense. And now we just got to see how the offensive side of the ball, pans out. Last year, they nailed their first-round pick, we believe, in Akeem Ekwonu. He was a great tackle for him. This year, they really upgraded the offensive line. So if they can just get the quarterback part right, this defensive upgrade in the secondary looks really, really good.
Yeah, Miles, and I just want to go back to one thing that really jumped out at me when I first saw this move. We see this a lot from a lot of really smart teams and how they structure their rosters in the NFL. When the entire NFL seems to go one direction, the NFL zigs, the smart teams zag. So if you go back 10, 15 years ago, right, 3-4 defenses were all the rage. So what did the smart teams do? They shifted to running a 4-3. They started looking for 4-3 guys. Same thing when it shifted back to a 4-3 defense. Some guys, the smart teams started looking for 3-4 guys, right? It's easier to find talent when other players are ignoring talented positions. You get deals at quality, you get good players at fair or quality prices. And that's exactly, I think, what the Panthers are doing here by targeting the safety group so aggressively this offseason. 90% of the NFL said, listen, we don't really care about safeties as much anymore. It's not as valuable as the NFL thinks it should be. The Carolina Panthers, along with a couple of the really smart teams, have said, hey, listen, we can still get really good players who are versatile, athletic, tough, who can make a lot of big plays for us and give us a lot of flexibility on defense. we can get them at great discount prices. Eric Rowe's a great player, in my opinion, a veteran, savvy, talented guy. He should be getting a big deal, but he's obviously not, because a lot of the NFL thinks safeties are not worth that much. I disagree. I think the Panthers, by zigging when the rest of the NFL is zagging, shows me that this is a smart run organization right now. And I think this move will be huge for them going into 2023.
All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.